There are different types of prayers in the New Testament. Sometimes we are told to pray for things that we need in life. Take, for instance, the Lord's Prayer. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we have forgiven our debtors. James also talks about praying for things we need as well. Other times, the Apostle Paul will ask us to intercede for this world, to pray for our rulers and all those who are in authority, that we may live a life of peace and tranquility so that we can do the ministry of the gospel in a more effective and efficient manner. But today I want to talk to you about a third type of prayer that the Apostle Paul frequently mentions. And this type of prayer is often neglected because we are, to be frankly, have enough needs in our own life and this world. We usually pray for needs. But in this type of prayer, we're talking about not what we need, but what we need to become. I'm going to read to you from the book of Colossians chapter 1, verse 9 to 11. Let's see if I could find it. Bear with me, it's a long passage. Verse 9 of chapter 1. And so from the day we heard, we have not ceased to pray for you, asking that you may be filled with the knowledge of his will in all spiritual wisdom and understanding, so as to walk in a manner worthy of the Lord, fully pleasing to him, bearing fruit in every good work, increasing in the knowledge of God, being strengthened with all power according to his glorious might, for all endurance and patience with joy. Now, this prayer is very, very important. It's not what we need in terms of the physical needs or emotional needs. It is what we need to become, because this is Paul's characteristic prayer for discipleship. What we need to become, what we need to grow in terms of our journey in Jesus Christ. And notice, it's very interesting how the Apostle Paul writes this. He talks about three very distinct categories in terms of what we need to become in this journey. First, he talks about knowledge, wisdom, understanding. And it has to do something about here, It's more than just, understanding facts. But it has a mind component to it, because our faith has things that are clearly written. And we need to understand the gospel of Jesus Christ and the grace of Christ to move forward. You see, it's not all based on what you do. Discipleship has an important component of what you know about Christ, what he's done, and what you know about God. But the knowledge is not the end of all, for he talks about to walk in a manner worthy of our Lord Jesus Christ, bearing fruit in every good work. For the true follower of Jesus who is doing things right, our knowledge does not end with a Bible study time, Bible reading. It's based upon that, but that is never the end of the goal. The end is that we would live our lives for the truth of God begins to affect and transform how we live for God. But there's more than that. It's more than just living, because of believers just do for God, and then inwardly they're total wreck emotionally and spiritually, but you can't see it because they're busy doing things for God. This is where the Apostle Paul adds the third component. Being strengthened with all power according to his glorious might, for all endurance and patience and joy. To be strengthened, not to be strengthened to do more, but to be strengthened to endure so we don't get tired, to be patient so we don't get frustrated, and with joy so that we have an inner peace about us. Oftentimes, this third component is the hardest to ever, develop in the heart of the believer. But all three are needed. And perhaps in your journey, this is what you need in terms of adding to your repertoire of prayer. Do you know God better? Do you know the scriptures better? Are you living out your life for him? And at the end, are you more patient? Are you at peace? Do you have joy? This is not a prayer of what we need, though I have to really change it. We do need this. We just don't realize it because it's really a prayer of what we need to become.